September 29th, 2012. From San Diego, California, this is episode 2 of You Can Bet on That. Hi, everybody. Welcome to You Can Bet on That, a podcast for the recreational gambler. I am Mark Duvall, and I'm joined again by Dr. Mike, who is back from a Vegas trip this last weekend. Welcome back.
Thank you.
We're going to talk about that in a little bit. But first, let's jump into the news. Mike, what would you say is your favorite all-time TV show of all time?
Well, it'd have to be Cheers.
Probably Cheers, right? An argument could be made that maybe the greatest sitcom of all time, certainly within the top 10.
Easily, yeah.
Greatest shows. I remember you and I, too, were watching it back when nobody else, when it first came on.
When it first came out, yeah.
And we loved it. Back then, it was getting terrible ratings, but luckily they kept it on, and it turned into one of the greatest shows of all time. So what does that have to do with gambling? Well, next week in Las Vegas is the Global Gaming Expo, which is basically a trade show where companies involved in the gaming industry show off their new products. And WMS Gaming is debuting a Cheers slot machine. It's called Cheers Lucky Round Slots. And it's a game where, you spin the wheels and different characters from the show come up and they play scenes from the series, funny scenes, cut scenes, that kind of thing. And then each character has a bonus round where you spin this wheel, and if you land on one of the characters, you get a bonus round. It looks pretty fun. I'll link to a demo of it on the show notes, but I noticed that there was no coach. Number one, Coach, his character was written out when the actual play coach died.
Yeah.
So I didn't see Coach anywhere on there. And I didn't see Rebecca in any of the gameplay, but I think I saw her on the hardware, on the display. So I don't know if... so anyway...
She was in half of the episodes.
Oh, yeah, she was in more than half.
Yeah,
she was in 6 of the 11 seasons.
Yeah.
So it looks like the machine, at least this... If they do another machine later, maybe Rebecca will be part of it. But it looks like it really emphasizes the Sam and Diane era.
Right.
So another slot that WMS is going to be debuting is a Kiss slot machine based on the rock band Kiss. And same kind of thing. You have bonus rounds that correspond to each of the 4 members of the group, and they play, of course, tons of music in it. So, and we've got a friend, Mary, who loves Kiss too, so I'm sure she's going to want to check that out. Plus, Kiss has a new mini golf course in Las Vegas across from the Hard Rock Cafe.
Really?
So, yeah.
Sponsored by them?
Oh yeah, it's full. Oh yeah, it's all sanctioned by Kiss themselves. Oh yeah. And it's supposed to be this. It's like an indoor.
Gene Simmons is like a marketing guru.
He's a smart guy.
Genius when it comes to that.
So anyway, I'll put links in the show notes to demos that you can see of these slot machines. I didn't see any kind of date anywhere that indicated when they're going to be coming out. But if anybody out there sees one of these machines, the Cheers or the Kiss slot machine in a casino, let us know and we'll pass the word along.
I wonder how the casino likes that. People will be sitting there watching clips of Cheers and not pushing the
clip doesn't last that. The clip doesn't last that long. It's like Norm comes in, right? Hey Norm, how's it going? And he says it's a dog eat dog world, and I'm wearing milk bone underwear. Right? Then that'll be the whole scene, right? All right. In other news, so over the past few months, an online sports book called Sports Betting Online has refunded players' money on sporting events that they deemed controversial. Back in June, there was a welterweight boxing match in which Timothy Bradley beat Manny Pacquiao in a split decision, and most experts said that Pacquiao clearly had won the fight. So Sports Betting Online gave a refund to all bettors who had wagered on Pacquiao. I'm not sure if it was real money refund or a refund that players could use as free play on the site, but it was a refund nonetheless. Then earlier this month, the site gave out another refund when 30-point favorite Arkansas lost to Louisiana Monroe in a shocking football upset. Everyone who bet on Arkansas got a refund. So it's good PR for basically unknown online sportsbook. Well, this week, an actual brick-and-mortar casino has refunded players' wagers. On Monday Night Football, I'm sure everybody's heard about this or saw it, the replacement refs made a terrible call at the end of the game that resulted in Seattle beating Green Bay. So the D Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas, the D, it used to be Fitzgerald's downtown. The D gave refunds to anyone who bet on Green Bay. And I assume in this case it was a real money refund. What do you think about that?
Well, first of all, giving a refund because a 30-point favorite lost a game, that's ludicrous.
Yeah.
It's part of the betting. I mean, that's what happens. Every once in a while, something odd happens. Now, when the refs make a hideous mistake, I understand people are upset about that. But why give a refund? It's the final result of the game is the final result.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times have you bet on a sports bet and you need the team to win by, say, 3 points, and they've got a 1-point lead, and they're right down on the 5-yard line, and it's 4th down, and they can kick a field goal and win by 4, or just kneel on the ball and the game ends and they win by 1.
Right.
And in normal situations, they kick a field goal, right? But because they don't need that, it just ends and you lose your bet.
Sure.
The casino doesn't say, well, they really should have scored a field goal.
Well, but it's not like in this case the people who bet on Seattle didn't get their money too.
Right.
I mean,
that's true. That's true. They did give them their money.
Yeah. So it's just basically I'm sure the D, they just say, okay, how much action do we get on this? Of course, it's going to be a good PR move. They're going to get in the pay. This is the D. I mean, most people, the D, I've never heard of that, right? It's a new incarnation in Las Vegas, right? So this is a pretty cheap way to get,
publicity.
A lot of publicity in the media, right? And so who knows how many people, bet on it, the D. Oh, yeah, I'm going to go down to the D. So I don't know. It's good PR.
It's good PR, but it's one of those things that sets a precedent.
Yeah, you don't want to set a
some other casino is going to, how come they didn't refund us?
Or the next time you say, what if you got players going, well, I'm going to go bet with the D. I'm going to go make my wager there because if something controversial is happening, I'm more likely to get a refund out of you.
And then when they don't give the refund, they'll be...
That's right.
They'll be really upset.
I don't know. It's good PR, and we'll see what happens. All right, so this last week on TV, the new drama Vegas premiered on CBS. We talked about it last week, but it's basically a drama set in the early 60s that kind of follows the mob's rise in Las Vegas. Did you catch it this last week?
Yeah, I watched it. We watched it.
Yeah. I thought it was pretty good. I thought Dennis Quaid was really good. He plays a sheriff, kind of the good guy, I guess, who's going to go up against the mob. And Michael O'Neill, who played the mayor, I thought was really good, too. You can't tell, is he seems like a good guy,
or bad,
right? You don't know if he's good or bad. Meanwhile, the DA, we already know is bad based on what we saw here. I don't want to spoil too much for people who haven't seen it. But what were your overall impressions of the show?
I liked the show. I thought the acting was good. I don't know, that plot seemed a little weak at first, but it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
It just seemed a little...
It was kind of a murder mystery. Maybe they're doing that for the pilot to kind of like, okay, we're going to wrap up just a storyline.
That's what I was thinking. Right. I wanted to see more about the Vegas.
Right. And more mob.
More mob.
You didn't really get a sense of it.
No. Yeah. And is the Savoy...
That's not a real
casino.
No,
My wife asked that, and I'm like, well... I've never heard of it.
No, So, I mean, they're obviously, taking some liberties with the truth, even though some of the characters are based on real people, So, we'll see where they go. I'm sure it'll be fictionalized quite a bit. The other thing we wanted to talk about on television this week, this Monday, October 1st, there's going to be a 6-hour gambling marathon on Destination America. We talked a little bit about Destination America last week. It's a relatively new cable channel. And Monday morning, starting at 6 a.m. Eastern time, they're going to have this 6-hour block of gambling-related shows. The shows are all reruns. Some of them are like 10 years old, and normally I wouldn't even bring it up, but the fact that it's just a big old gambling block, I thought I'd bring it up. That's it for the news. So this last Tuesday night, we had our weekly poker game. And afterwards, we were talking to our good friend Paul about something we talked about on our last show. That's how do you play soft 18 in blackjack? And I think Paul considers himself a good blackjack player. Or if he goes to a casino, I mean, that's his game of choice.
Oh, he's played more hands of blackjack than you and I combined.
Yeah, I agree.
I would imagine.
And I think he thinks of himself as an expert, certainly knows his way around the table. So we were talking about soft 18, and he said, what did he say?
Well, first thing he said was very true. He said, probably one of the hardest hands to play.
Okay.
That was his, opinion.
Right, yeah.
And then he went on to say that under no circumstance would he hit it against a 9.
Right. He said that against a 10, it's like a dilemma for him.
Right.
But not against a 9. Yeah. And, we're saying, well, Paul, it's just math, right? It's just the computer figured it all out. It's not like, it's debatable, but yeah,
it's one of those nuances that people get in their head.
Yeah.
And they're not gonna change.
Yeah, we talked. Yeah, what. It's like 18. Oh, that's a good hand. That's a solid hand. That's a hand that the dealer stays on.
Right.
So
the dealer does it. It's good enough for me.
But so anyway, Paul, our friend, our blackjack expert, against a 9. It's not going to hit that one. I'm going to stay.
Well, good luck, Paul.
Yeah. All right. So before we talk about your Vegas trip, let's talk a little bit about players' clubs at casinos. Every casino has some sort of players' club, a club that gamblers can sign up for, and the casino will track how much action you give them and reward the players with complimentaries, in the form of food, hotel rooms, sometimes cash, all sorts of different things. Gifts, yeah. And you're doing yourself a disservice if you're gambling in a casino and you haven't signed up for one of these cards. They all offer them. They all give at least something back. You'll get some kind of good room rate, something in the mail, who knows. One of the better players clubs is Caesars Total Rewards. And we are not getting paid by Caesars to say that. It just turns out that Caesars has so many properties across the United States and elsewhere that I guess it allows them to have very good comps. We in San Diego are close to several Indian casinos. And Mike and I will go out of our way to drive to Harrah's Rincon, which is a Caesars property, to take advantage of their comps. I mean, it's not even close.
Oh, there's no comparison. That's how
they give. The comps are so much better. Yeah. There's another casino out by us called Verona, which I like. I think it's a good casino.
It's a good casino. Yeah.
But just to give you a comparison, when I was in a period when I was giving as much action to Verona as I was to Harrah's, Verona I'd get a couple of coupons for maybe $10 in free play for a month.
Right. Maybe a meal.
Yeah. Right?
You had to sweat to get a shirt.
Oh, yeah. Mike and I were at Verona once, and we're playing at the craps table and throwing around a decent amount of money.
Pretty good chunk.
And we said, hey, do you think we could get a T-shirt? And they had to get on the phone and check with their bosses and, I don't know, check with the eye in the sky. And they were calling all over. And then eventually, yep, you've been approved for a shirt. It's like, okay, good. And they brought us like just these.
It was a T-shirt from a cheap giveaway, which they had extra of. I mean, they probably had 10,000 of them in the back room, but it took an hour to get a approval for a T-shirt.
All right, so we don't want to bash Verona here.
No, they're good.
What we do want to say, though, that what you get at Harrah's through the Caesars property, certainly Harrah's Rincon by us, is so much better. Now, again, with about the same amount of play, I'm getting about $150 a month and in free play. Plus, every time I go, like an hour's worth of play, I've earned either a free buffet or $20 at any of their restaurants. Anyway, so Caesars Entertainment has 4 different tiers in their Players Club in Total Rewards that correspond to how much action you give them. When you first sign up for it, you're a gold member, and you get the basic amenities.
Right.
The next level up is platinum, where you get a few more. This, again, is based on how much action you're giving them, what kind of machines you're playing, what kind of table games you're playing, that kind of thing. The next level is Diamond. That's kind of a jump up, because as a Diamond member, you get a special check-in at their hotels, a lot more freebies.
Preferred parking,
Yeah.
your own line for restaurants.
That's right.
And
Yeah,
stuff.
you can skip through ahead of thing. And then the highest level is 7 stars. And Mike is a 7 stars member. And in fact, this last trip that you took to Vegas was...
a 7 stars event.
Right. So you were invited as a 7 stars member. You got
Right.
invited.
And they were all... I mean, they invited 7 stars people from all over the country. There were people there from East Coast, West Coast, I mean, everywhere.
Yeah. So tell us about your trip.
Well, it was a good trip. We were invited. We got quite a bit of complimentary stuff. First off, we got 3 nights in the hotel free. And then all of our meals comped.
And this was at Caesar's Palace.
This was at Caesar's Palace, Las Vegas. We got... included in the thing was $700 of either free casino play, or you could have it in a shopping spree at the Caesars Forum shops.
Mm-hmm.
My wife was with me, so of course we took the $700 shopping, which she spent all $700.
Good.
And the nice thing about that is when you buy something in the casino gift shop and you use your reward points, everything's kind of inflated in price.
Yeah.
Because they know you're going to be paying with your rewards points, most people.
Right. And this is like at the gift
at the gift shop
right,
in the casino.
Right.
But at the forum shops, it's more like a mall.
Right.
So everything was like normal price.
Okay.
I mean, maybe a little more expensive because,
Sure.
it's a big mall.
Right.
But so your $700 actually got you really $700 worth of merchandise, which was nice. And we also had a free pedicure, manicure, and massage at Caesars.
Did you do that?
I did not do that.
All right.
My wife took full advantage of that. And they had a tour of one of their restaurants, which was excellent. I was reluctant to go on that, and
Sure.
afterwards it was just amazing.
It was just one restaurant?
It was one restaurant.
Which restaurant was it? Do you remember?
It was the Guy Savoy. And it was amazing. I mean, they gave us a tour of the dining room and the kitchen, and they explained everything. They have a room in the kitchen surrounded by glass, which you can reserve. Anyone can reserve and eat your meal in the kitchen.
Huh.
And so from anywhere up to 6 people, 2 to 6 people, basically. The minimum that you can order in that room, which was like an 8-course meal, is $259 a person. And the maximum was like a 16-course meal, and it was up to like $1,400 a person to eat in the
So it was
kitchen.
it was a glass enclosed.
It was a glass enclosed room
that like
in the
keeps
kitchen.
the noise out of the kitchen.
I guess
or
keeps the noise of the kitchen.
Were you able to go into the room, or were there people?
Yeah,
in there?
yeah. No, we were in the room. We
You
went in
went
the
to see
room,
it,
but you could sit in that room and watch everything in the kitchen and be served there. A very exclusive restaurant, very nice. You know, the kind of restaurant where they had $5,000 bottles of wine and stuff.
Right.
You know, so that was interesting to see just how it all works. And I guess there's only 5 of them in the world. That's what the host told us.
Yeah.
Along with that, there was a brunch that was at Flamingo, and we went over there and had a brunch on Saturday. And then on Saturday night, we got complimented to a concert, and it was Don Henley. Nice thing about that is they gave you a wristband. It was mostly 7-star people, but there were some, I imagine they did sell some tickets.
Yeah.
So, but for all the 7 stars people got a wristband, you got free food and alcohol.
Nice.
So, yeah, I mean, there were some people really taking advantage of the free alcohol.
Yeah.
And he was great.
Yeah, good seats.
Good seats. Oh God, like 15 feet from the stage.
Yeah.
So it was like he was right in front of you. Yeah. And we enjoyed the concert. They take you around everywhere. So we were at Caesars. We had the concerts at Planet Hollywood. They shuttle you over. They shuttle you back.
Yeah.
You know, basically did everything for you. As a 7 stars member, I was able to make reservations for my next trip which is with Mark here, to a dinner.
Yeah.
We were able. They booked it for us and everything ahead of time. So a lot of complimentary stuff. And when we received all of our stuff, unbeknownst to us, they gave every member a jacket.
Like a sports coat?
Caesar's, like a sports coat type thing. And they fitted you and took your size, and it'll be shipped to your house.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, so it was great. And all that, along with, got to play craps for 3 days.
That's good. What were the, did you just play at Caesar's?
Just at Caesar's.
What were the minimums at the craps?
There were, surprisingly enough, even on Saturday night, there were at least 3 $10 tables.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, that's nice.
At least. There were never any 5s.
Right.
Even early in the morning.
It's hard to find $5 on the strip anywhere. Yeah, especially
but there
prime
were
time.
always 10s.
Yeah.
And I was shocked on a Saturday night. As a matter of fact, I was shocked there were more 10s at one point than there were 25s.
Was it a lot of people at the tables?
Very crowded.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, packed.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is as I'm playing, I kept meeting people from Harrah's Rincon in San Diego who were there for the same 7-star event.
Right, because they'd been invited. Yeah.
Yeah, they had been invited. We all kind of clumped together, our little group, and played. Yeah. So that was fun. And it turned out good. And I didn't lose as much as I planned, so I was very happy.
So Mike's trip is an example. Obviously, he's 7 stars, so he's getting a lot of good free stuff. Okay. But it is an example of how the casino will reward you for giving them action at the tables. So even if you're, just playing a little bit, it still pays to sign up for these players clubs. And a lot of them, when you sign up, all you have to do is go up and give them your information. They'll immediately give you some kind of free gift, maybe, $10 in slot play or...
More than likely a meal.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, that's very common.
Almost
at least always
meal.
A buffet, at least, something like that.
If you're paying for your food in Vegas at any level, you're doing something wrong.
That's true.
You should be just, go to a blackjack table, play 15 minutes, they'll probably give you a buffet.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. All you have to do, and you want to sign up for the Players Club, and you just need to. The way that it works, when you sign up for the Players Club, they give you a card. If you play at like a slot machine or video poker, you just put the card into the machine. There's a slot for the card. It keeps track of your play. If you're going to a table game like blackjack or craps, you just give the dealer your card when you sit down. The dealer will hand it to the pit boss, who enters all your information in the computer, and they keep track of your play. And then, then after that, it's just a matter of either taking advantage of offers that they give you unsolicited, or just asking the pit boss, hey, can I get something for, what have I qualified for? Can I get a meal or something like that?
Another hidden bonus on the whole Players Club thing is when you give them your card, they know your name.
Yeah.
And it's almost creates a friendly atmosphere.
Yeah.
And the guy will call you, hey, Mike, you want to do this, you want to do that.
Yeah.
And it really is a good thing because it makes it funner to gamble than just some impersonal thing where they don't know you, you don't know them, and when you're losing, you feel like they took your money.
Right.
As opposed to, you feel like, well, I had fun.
How are the dealers at Caesar's?
Caesar's Palace has changed a lot over the years. I remember going back, 25, 30 years ago, where they were a little standoffish.
Yeah, I remember.
And they are more like the Harrah's dealers are now. They're very, very friendly.
Nice.
As a matter of fact, I was telling my wife on the plane trip home, it is the best thing is to be at a table where the dealers are friendly and talking to you, and the players you're playing with are friendly and talking to you.
Yeah.
And at one point, we actually had me, 2 other players, and 2 dealers had a huge conversation about what shows we like on TV as we're playing craps.
Right.
The game never slowed down.
Right.
They just kept talking about television. Yeah. And Vegas, the new Vegas show was one of the things we talked about.
Right.
So
and you and I have talked about this before, too. I agree. Because, from crap table to crap table, blackjack table to blackjack table, the rules may change a little bit. But really what makes it fun to play at a table is the interaction that you have with the dealers. And, especially at the craps table, it's so fast. And there are several dealers at the craps table, right? So, yeah, that makes all the difference in the world. There's nothing worse. Conversely, there's nothing worse than having like cranky dealers or some, drunk, obnoxious player who's, getting
who ruins the atmosphere or complains.
Right.
That's my biggest thing. I hate someone who gets in an argument over $5 here or there.
Right.
It's just
yeah. All right. Well, very good. Welcome back. I think that's going to do it for this week. You can check out our website at youcanbetonThat.com, where you can look at our show notes and leave comments. Also, you can follow us on Twitter at youcanbetOnThat, or you can email us with questions and comments at youcanbetonthat@gmail.com. That'll do it this week. Mike, thanks again. Welcome back.
Thank you.
And we'll see everybody next time.
Good night.